I decided like one day I want to own one of these. I think beginning, what you need is just having the right mindset first, and then going towards your goal once you have decided that that's what you want. That's how you start. You don't start doing the things that you really love doing. You start with what gets you to a place where you can do something you're passionate about.
Welcome to Beauthic Talk, where we talk about everything beauty, business, and whatnot. And today we have our very first guest, Josie. She is the owner of La Boutique in San Francisco. And today she will share her journey as a business owner, lash artist, esthetician, and more. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everybody, I'm Josie and I run La Boutique, a cozy cosmetic spa where we make beauty routines easy, consistent, and a little luxurious for all the women on the go.
Thank you. So Josie, what inspired you to start your salon? And more specifically, what do you offer?
You know, I think growing up, we're told a lot to follow your passion and do what you love, especially since like in our career, we spend so much of our lifetime in our career and working. So I just thought about like, what is it that I like to do? I like to get massages. I like to be pampered. I like to get pretty, with my friends. All those things are like so fun. So I decided that I wanted to surround myself in that environment, being like girlfriends and like just doing services on each other. That was like really fun. I got into it more technically was through like job hopping, because there's so many different types of like careers and job like titles in the beauty industry itself. Like you can definitely go into like corporate, you can be an entrepreneur, you can just be a freelance esthetician. There's like so many paths to take. So how I found it is just through like job hopping, like every position, front desk, esthetician, waxer, or like just facialist, and everything to kind of figure out what it is that I wanted to do. And I landed a job being a receptionist for a high-end spa. And that's the turning point in my life was like, everything's always clean, everything smells nice, people are always happy when they come to, for their like services, and like, women are empowering each other. So I decided like one day I want to own one of these, and then that's always just been like tunnel vision, like this is what I'm doing. So that's kind of just like, I think beginning, what you need is just having the right mindset first, and then going towards your goal once you have decided that that's what you want.
I know that you offer a variety of services, but you didn't start with that. What was your first service that you offered?
My foundation comes from like skincare first. So I actually worked under a really talented master esthetician and entrepreneur, and just watching her, like I learned so much about like skincare and wellness health and stuff. But the problem was when you start out in the business, you need like money, income fast, right? So the thing about facials, I don't think I was skilled enough to already have like a built out clientele where I have like repeated, like streamlined flow of clients. So it was starting from scratch with like 0 clients. And to do that, you need money, right? So if you look at facials, it's like you do a facial, and most people don't do facials consistently every month. They maybe at most do like a quarterly type of routine where they get facials. So that would take a lot longer for me to like develop income and build a clientele. So when I was in just scrolling through Instagram and stuff, I saw that girls were paying like $250 to $400 on eyelash extensions. And I was like, wow, that's some fast like money. Like people are just paying that, and then, they go back to their lash artist every 2 weeks, and then they do a fill for another $100. So it was like repeat client, consistent. So the cost of starting that was a lot lower because the materials you need is a lot less. And then you just need like your willpower to like do it. So starting off with that is how I started building my business, because it was a faster cash inflow. And then it was a skill that I can quickly develop and then make money first. And then now as a salon owner, I can now go back to my roots on what I really enjoy doing, which is like skincare and wellness and just like every other service to make a girl feel really confident. So that's how you start. You don't start doing the things that you really love doing. You start with what gets you to a place where you can do something you're passionate about. Yes,
and I also remember that, you didn't start when this like your own business in this posh, beautiful salon right away. It was like out of your own living room, and then it went to your garage, and then it starts growing from there. So a lot of people always think, oh my God, I have to start right away, get my own salon, get this set up. No, you don't have to do this all the time. You can just start from the comfort of your home, have your friends as your first, I guess, clients, or to train on them or work on them, whatever, and then you can grow from there. Did you find you had challenges starting out, or let me rephrase, what were your biggest challenges or your biggest challenge when you first started?
Honestly, since I want to say like I knew I wanted to open a spa before that actually happened, maybe like 5 years before that happened. But what kept me from opening one wasn't just capital. It was actually my mindset. Because some of my friends who actually own businesses, they're like, just start, just do it. I didn't understand what that meant at the time in the beginning, because like when someone tells you, just do it. You're like, do what? Like, I need money, I need materials, I need to do this, But then when push came to shove, when like, my family went through like a crisis, and then it was like, I don't have the luxury to think about like, I need money to start. It was more like, I need money tomorrow. So what am I gonna do? Okay, I'm gonna call some of my friends, my little contact list, and say like, hey, I'm doing eyelashes, but I'm starting out. Do you want to get a set for me for only like $30? So you're kind of doing like a digital door knocking with your contact list, right? So you start with like just what you have. It doesn't have to be like this what is it called, prospect generating or like lead generating system. You just take out your phone, go through your contacts, you start with your friends and your family. This is what I'm doing. Can you support me? It's only $30. So you got to be really good at like selling it at first, right? And then from there, all I needed was like, I was on my mom's couch with a pair of tweezers, and you just start and you just do it. And then you'll probably get a few people that's like, oh my God, this is terrible. But after about like maybe a few more times, like 3, you start getting better and better, and then you start becoming more confident to take pictures of your work, and then you start to market with minimal, like your Instagram, which is free, and then you slowly build it up that way. That's kind of like how I started. So I think the biggest challenge of starting a business is really about having the right mindset and the willpower. So many people around me that, are really good at like business strategy and also like wanting to do business, and they've been talking about it for a long time, but none of that matters if you don't take the first step of just doing it. And now that I realize what doing it means, I can finally explain to you that you don't need a lot. You just need the right mindset and doing with what minimal things that you have.
It's very well said. We are our biggest enemy. Our minds can be our biggest obstacle. It's not even the money. Even if you think about it, we all have at least $100 or $200 sitting around, maybe not in our own pockets, right? But we can ask friends and family and say, hey, can you lend me this and this much money? But if you believe in yourself, you can make it happen. And we do tend to be our biggest imposters sometimes. I kind of want to tap a little bit about some of your day-to-day activities. Like what is a typical day for you in your current business? How do you manage? You have employees. How do you manage your time?
I think the biggest lesson I've learned so far is having enough time, because there was a point where I was so caught up inside the business, doing appointments, doing the day-to-day of what, a regular esthetician staff would do. It was just me running on a hamster wheel. So I just like realized, learned how to like delegate better. And then now I've gotten to a place where I have a lot more time. But the problem is I used all my money to delegate these duties. So I don't have money anymore. So that's why I'm just like, now I'm in the place that I am in now in my business is I have time, but I am limited from not having enough money to grow. So I need growth capital right now. That's basically where I'm at. My day-to-day basically looks like, so I reserve my mornings for myself, and that has to do anything with personal development. I think it's important to grow because your business is going to be a reflection of who you are as a person. So if your business isn't growing, then there's something wrong like internally for yourself that you need to grow as a person to take your business to the next level. So in the morning, I always reserve 4 hours. So I wake up super early, like 6 a.m.-ish. I try to meditate every day, like just 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, read a chapter of something, and then just do like, stretches. I definitely do my skincare routine. After that, after I do some reading and some planning for the day, then I just head to the salon and check in on things. I still see some of my clients, and I think that's always going to be the case. Like, I think I'm always going to have my hand in the business. I'm always going to be like working on doing services. I love it. So after that, I kind of just like check in with my staff, or like if I have meetings that I need to like schedule. And then now it's to the point where I'm more in like a creative thinking space than it is on like a day-to-day task, like area in my life so that I can find inspiration on what my next level of my business is going to look like. I probably don't get to like go home and just check out like most people do after work. After work, I still like go and meet people and see people, and my mind is always on business. You know, like how is this interaction going to help me further to my goal?
As a business owner versus an employee, your mind definitely is a 24/7 in your business type of thing. It can be very difficult to separate yourself as well from your private personal life from your business life.
Yeah.
It's always a work in progress, right? Because at the end of the day, it's not just your bread and butter, it's your employees' bread and butter as well. Like you have to make sure your employees are, like you make enough money to pay your employees.
Exactly.
Speaking of employees, I'm sure it's not easy to find the right employees all the time, but you must have built a quite decent team so far, and there must have been some day ones as well. But if anybody was to start a salon and look for people, what advice would you give them? What to look out for? What kind of type of people to look out for? And some of green flags and red flags?
It's funny you actually mentioned this question because yesterday I was just coaching this girl who was only 20 and trying to get into the job field. And, you know, I think the age today, what's lacking in our millennial and Gen Z's like generation is professionalism, especially in like a trade job that you and I like do. You know, we're not tech, we're not corporate, we're not finance, we are in trade, right? With services. So I think a lot of like people, when they come to interviews, they're just kind of too casual, you know, like wearing jeans, a baggy t-shirt, or, you know, even if they're like 2-3 minutes late, it's not acceptable. Like for me, when I do interviews, if you are on time, like if the interview's at 12 o'clock and you arrive at 12 o'clock, it's a no for me. Like I expect people to arrive at least 10 to 15 minutes early to anything they do. And that tells you a lot about like their habits already, that they are always on time and reliable. So that, and then knowing like asking people why they're in this industry, you know. I think a lot of people mistake this job as like just being beauty and having fun, doing services, but they don't understand that this is actually a sales job, because not only are you just like an entertainer for your clients, but you need to know how to like solve their problems with the beauty industry. So being a problem solver and looking for resources, and then also like having the skills to pitch or to sell. So that goes back to like, if you want to open your own business, that's the number one skill you need to develop first, which is sales. And then understand that this is a sales job. So in interviews, finding the reliable people who are on time, who understand and knows how to like sell, who has a very warm and welcoming like persona. And I'm getting a lot of interviews where it's like, you know, they don't really talk about the value that they can add to the business. They kind of just talk about what they need. Like, I need to make this much because I need to pay rent. But then I'm like, well, that's good for you, but that doesn't, I'm not going to hire you just so that I can pay your rent. You know, like there's a lot of like people that's not understanding about like interviewing. So I just thought that was really funny that I've been getting that like quite like a lot. So that tells me that the people in the trade industry are not really like even thinking about trying to succeed in this area.
Generational gaps are very visible in this, specifically in this kind of business, in your business. I'm kind of curious about one thing. In your opinion, what are some of the current trends in the US beauty and aesthetic market?
K-beauty has been a pretty popular like talk globally. Korea is definitely making its like presence in the world right now. I think we are still kind of in that like glass skin, Korean beauty. I think people are realizing a lot of it is also like part genetics, and then trying to do a 12-step skincare is like not realistic for most people. After the pandemic, I think a lot of trends have gone to like ease, you know, like clean girl beauty aesthetics, right? You got the Hailey Bieber with the plain nails and like just no makeup look. We're not doing like big like brats, like thick shadow and stuff like that anymore. Already slowly going into like DIY stuff, right? Like at-home kits or at-home laser treatments and stuff like that. These things were already starting to coming out. But after COVID, it definitely just like accelerated all of this DIY stuff, because we've been trapped at home and everyone's just like doing their own eyebrows or doing their own stuff now. Recently, the most trending thing, or, you know, I think nails are having its moment. Just like how beauty is very closely tied to fashion, things start to like repeat itself. So we're starting to go from like the Cara Delevingne, I think her name is, the one with the big fluffy brows.
Yes.
Now we're going back, now with like millennial fashion coming back, the whole Y2K style. We got Pamela Anderson on screen again, with the Pamela Anderson type of eyebrows, which is just like a line. So all the girls that over-tweezed during the 90s, like, this is your time. The arch brows are back. The thin brows are back. And like, I think just doing more like nails. So the Harajuku nails are going to come back maybe next year or so, because that was very popular back in like 2010 with all the little like charms and stuff on the nails. And because everything is going towards like a DIY, especially with like the economic downturn that we're facing, that it's just more affordable for people to do their treatments and stuff at home. But, for me and my salon, the difference is we never gear towards like just the everyday person. Our clients are, busy women on the go. They don't have time to sit at home to try to figure out how to YouTube press on nails that will last maybe over a week. They come in, they get their service done, and then they just like, they're about their careers. They're back to work. They're doing the presentations. So there's like two very different clientele still for like the spa industry. But yeah, otherwise I do see a lot of people pivoting into DIYs and at-home treatments. I mean, I think there's always going to be a market for both lower and upper class. But I think that, yes, the division, but it's going to be less and less of the luxury, like pampering kind of spas. I think we're definitely moving towards more like medical, get things done. Things are moving faster. And especially with women having more bigger and stronger careers, then it's going to be more fast paced than being able to just lounge at a day spa for 4 to 6 hours a day kind of thing,
We talked earlier about that it's really important for your staff to, be positive and radiate that positivity to your clients and to the services that they offer, because people want to be comfortable. They come in, they pay, they want to feel pampered. So what's your approach to maintaining a positive work environment? Is there like any team developments, trainings? What do you do?
Yeah, I think it starts with like what your core values are, like really be clear about what you're trying to build. And for me, that is a work culture that women can uplift each other and, help each other, that's not defined by their salary. So work culture being like supportive of each other, and how I would, how I implement those things is even, there's not really a hierarchy attitude. Just because I'm the boss doesn't make me like better than you, or doesn't make me like more in charge of more things. I mean, yes, I overview more things, but the thing is every single position is important. There's no business without the foundation of the people, right? Because we are still a people business and we serve people, and I serve people, both consumers and my own team. So what that means is like, yes, I am the boss, but sometimes when my teammate or my colleague is running late, I will go and personally like do their room and set it up for them, or like just do little things for them, help them clean up and stuff. Even though technically I'm higher in the hierarchy of this business, I still do all like the bottom foundational things. And that's my leadership. Like my example of leadership is to show them that you're not going to be better than any job that you do. So if you are good to your people, then they also feel valued and appreciated, and then they will do a really good job for their clients because they genuinely want to be here. They want to work with you and they want to work for you. So you have to create that environment for them first, and then train them on how to be more precise on customer service. But they need the foundation of feeling safe. They need the foundation of feeling like they're appreciated. And then that is the foundation of my work culture first, before we even talk about customer service.
As you say, like you don't have to worry about tiptoeing around you, right? And as you said, like lead by example. And that's a very beautiful thing. Yeah, maybe I should move back to San Francisco and work for you. Dream boss.
Yeah.
Then let's finish off our beautiful conversation for today. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? But I would love to know, where do you see your business in the next 5 to 10 years? Are you planning on expanding? Are you coming to Europe? What are your goals and aspirations?
In the next 5 to 10 years, well, let's just talk about the next 5 years. I definitely have been on the lookout to expand my business for a second location. So I just think that that's just my life's calling, my life path. I'm going to be in the spa and this business for the rest of my life. So it's just going to continue growing. So the next step is to open my second one. bring that one up, and then the third, and then the fourth.
If you guys are obviously interested to learn more about what Josie does and what her salon does, I will link her in the bio below. And go check her out. Her website is also called laboutique.salon. And if you ever visit San Francisco, or if you watch it from San Francisco or the Bay Area, highly recommend her salon. Whenever I watch your pictures, I get very jealous. I would love to be there and get pampered by you, but hopefully very soon. Thank you so much for taking the time. Any final words from you?
No, but I guess I just hope to meet some really cool people from this interaction. And also you can find more about me from Instagram handle Josie the Beautician, or our business's handle is laboutique.salon on Instagram. And then that's where you'll find more of us.
Definitely. And you also have a YouTube channel. You talk a little bit more about your story and your journey, and I really, really love that. Yeah, thank you so much, Josie. It was really, really nice talking to you. Thanks guys for watching, and hope to see you soon.